Thank you, John. Firstly, allow me to thank the organisers of the Economist's 16th Cyprus Summit. It's a shame that um, it's not done in the usual very engaging way that we're all used to, but well done on nevertheless not giving up and doing it online. I think it's a great opportunity for everyone to get together and continue the conversations that were once considered normal part of doing business, and hopefully we'll go back to that very, very soon. Of course, the sector of hydrocarbons has not been any less affected than any other sector from all the negative, I suppose, repercussions of COVID and the different complications, and that's forced, I think, everyone, whether it be countries or companies or other players within the sector, to reconsider and redesign some of the aspects of our strategies. Obviously, we've seen that COVID-19 has led to shrinking demand, which we face particularly sort of shockingly during the first wave of the pandemic, and that's obviously led to prices collapsing, both in terms of oil and the LNG market. And that was the first obvious effect of COVID, but also the logistical, the health risks associated to running operations normally has had an effect as well. So as we all know, we've seen most major projects actually being postponed. There was a lot of cutting of expenditure, and that is definitely something that we are having to deal with. And those are pretty much the facts that we are faced with. However, it's not really all doom and gloom, as I was discussing earlier with some of my my fellow panelists. I think that looking at the positive side, we are now in a situation where we know how to deal with the pandemic perhaps a little bit better than during the first few months. We have applied some of the lessons that we've learned to build systems and to build ways in which we can continue to do business both during the pandemic and, of course, to prepare for the day after. So in the case of Cyprus, our licensees have rescheduled their drilling program, as we all know, for pretty much the second half of 2021. But given the restrictions that we still have on movement, closed borders in some cases, difficulty to travel, different measures that apply from airport to airport, these projects are becoming increasingly complex, and that's why we are taking every opportunity during this period to actually prepare for the exact scenarios and ways of dealing with risks arising from the pandemic. So we have developed various scenarios. We're working very closely with the companies, and we're very lucky actually to have constant communication with all of them, and to share mutual concerns and various and our thoughts on the various matters coming up. And we're confident that we will be able to resume programs in a safe way. We are in discussions also with Chevron and Noble, who, with regards to the Aphrodite field, are also going through an important change, which is of significance actually to Cyprus. And again, in that situation as well, the interest thankfully in the Cyprus EEZ and the East Med also remains undiminished. So our plan with regards to Aphrodite for getting the first gas out in 2025 still remains unchanged. That target date still remains, despite the various, the slight reshuffling that we've had within the actual frame sequence of events leading up to it. And we're similarly confident and hopeful that the plans that we have with Total and ENI, with ExxonMobil and Qatar Petroleum will also progress in a very at a very good pace from 2021 onwards. As regards the wider discussion that's going on about LNG and whether the prices are going to recover, whether talking about LNG at the moment is something worthwhile. Even, I mean, we've heard a lot of opinions about its interconnection with the Green Deal in the EU or with the wider sort of global environment. I think that firstly, natural gas prices will start to pick up, and that is something that we can expect once business goes back to normal. And I also think that LNG is a very, very important pivotal step in our transition towards a cleaner energy environment globally. And I think that particularly the region that we live in, the East Med, has great potential to utilize LNG in the years and decades to come. In Cyprus, we're particularly lucky that despite the spending cuts that we've seen, we have commitment from the companies operating within our EZ to continue, and that is something that we value very, very much, and we thank them for that, and we hope that Cyprus, in the context of the wider region and the collaboration within the region, will be an important player in the supply of LNG, not just to the region but to the global market. And in that context, of course, we very much insist on regional collaboration as a key factor for making this happen. And for that reason, we're really pleased and excited that we have had the positive recent developments regarding the EMGF, the Eastern Mediterranean Gas Forum, which really strengthens the collaboration of 7 countries in the region in a way which not only reaffirms the country's commitment to LNG as a very important economic activity in the years to come, but it also brings in the companies in different platforms that are going to basically look at and discuss all the areas in which there is a scope for collaboration. So hopefully, once we are all able to meet physically, the EMGF will become a much more tangible project, and of course, even virtually, there is a lot that can be done in the meantime. I won't go on for much longer as regards my initial sort of introduction. I just wanted to mention that international collaboration doesn't just have to do with LNG and with hydrocarbons. It also has to do with other energy projects that are very, very important, such as the electricity grid that's going to connect Israel, Cyprus, and Greece, and also Egypt, Cyprus, and then Crete and Greece. So we're working on a number of different projects that are of very, very high interest for us, and I think for our neighbours, for other countries involved. And hopefully this collaboration will have tangible results that will actually affect the citizens of our countries with cheaper and better quality fuel in the years to come. So thank you very much again for this opportunity and look forward to the discussion. Thank you.